Kate Rooney is here with a look at 2019's biggest IPO winners and losers. Hi, Kate.
Hey, Seema. Good to be here. So you mentioned some of the big names that have struggled, but overall public offerings as a whole did pretty well this year. The Renaissance IPO index has outperformed the S&P in what's looking to be a historic year for stocks. The index saw a 33% gain versus a roughly 29% gain for the S&P. Biotech companies were big winners. Analysts say that's thanks to the FDA approving new drugs faster than investors had expected. Karuna Therapeutics topped this year's list with a 380% gain. The worst performers were mostly small cap names, but Uber and Lyft and Smile Direct as well are some of the bigger underperformers when you factor in market cap. Kathy Smith of Renaissance telling me the IPO resilience shows investors' appetite for high growth companies, but not those money-losing names without a path to profitability. Guys?
Appreciate it very much. All right, you stay with us, of course. From Uber and Lyft to Peloton and Slack, 159 IPOs priced this year, raising $46.3 billion. That number down 1.2% from 2018. So what is the IPO outlook for 2020? Joining us now is Santosh Rao. He is the head of research at Manhattan Venture Partners, which has investments in Airbnb and Postmates. It's good to see you.
Nice to be here.
Perfect that you are in Airbnb and Postmates. I'm just wondering how we should be thinking about the pipeline, given some of the blow-ups that we lived through this year, whether it makes it harder for them to go public.
We're absolutely positive. We expect the momentum to continue into 2020. The setup is right. The risk-on sentiment is still on. Everything is positive going into 2020, and we believe it'll perform well. There were some blow-ups, but we are investors in Lyft. We still believe in the story. I think it gets put in the same bucket as Uber, so it's getting some cross-currents there. So I think ultimately, it will perform. There's a lot of things going on, but overall, Postmates, Airbnb, these are the next big thing, and we are very positive on that.
But growth at any price is over, would you say?
Absolutely. Growth at any cost is gone. So I think WeWork on its way out did us a favor, did the market a favor. It was a wake-up call. I think growth at any cost does not work. Bad corporate governance structures do not work. No transparency does not work. So all those things are good for the market. So you're going to see that in the new companies that come out. They're going to be conscious of that. Even if they're not profitable, they're going to have a clear path, and they're going to just communicate that very well in terms of the future. I think that's very important.
I guess, Kate, a big part of the discussion is whether the lackluster performance of some of these high-profile IPOs will lead more private companies to take the direct listing route, which I guess 2020 will be the big test.
That seems to be a big conversation in Silicon Valley. Direct listings and the idea, like you mentioned, the sort of sector shift, that there's plenty of money floating around for the companies that do have a clear path to profitability. And if they have a stable business model and sort of a clear business plan, investors are all piling into the same names, but some of the bigger money-losing companies are losing out. So we'll see, but direct listings is absolutely top of mind.
What do you think, Santosh?
Absolutely. I think direct listing will get there. It's going to be a very incremental process. Not every company can do it. But I think the inefficiencies of the IPO market now have been very well telegraphed. I think Bill Gurley has pretty much articulated that very much, and then the market is catching on. So we'll get there ultimately. There are a lot of advantages to that. But I think overall, we see a lot of enterprise software companies bubbling up. The IPO pipeline is going to be skewed more towards enterprise software in 2020. Airbnb and Postmates are big ones, but I think most of them, in terms of edge computing, cybersecurity, and cloud security, there's so many companies bubbling up. They're in their 8th or 9th round, 7 to 8 years old, so they're ripe for IPO. So you're going to see a whole bunch of them coming to market in 2020.